Alright, what's up everybody? This is your boy Rome. I'm just about to head out for a ride. I'm going to try again to shoot the same video I tried to shoot last night. And as I told you guys in the previous video, for some reason my Sony was not recording when I started the video. Anyway, this video is about adding the second camera to my bike. So what I have here is the GoPro Session. This is a 1080p camera, very small profile, and that's primarily one of the reasons why I went with this specific camera, is because it does have such a low profile. One of the advantages to this camera over a number of others is its one button operation, meaning you just press the button, you start recording. So for the way that I shoot, my primary camera is going to be the Sony that's mounted to my helmet, and this secondary camera will be like a rear view from the perspective of looking behind me or looking at me while I'm riding, something along that line. So let's get the camera started. And that's pretty much it. You just press one button, it starts to record. I don't know if you guys can see the counter is counting down, and the little red lights are blinking, which means that it is recording. So I'm going to get on, go for a little short ride, and see what kind of footage we come up with. So like I said, I tried this last night, and even in my helmet I was able to discern that it was picking up some of my audio, which is pretty good. Now, these GoPro Sessions have a little bit of a new technology where they use two microphones to record, one in the front and one in the rear. So depending on the direction the wind noise is coming from will determine which camera microphone will pick up. Now, will that always work perfectly? Probably not. But it is something cool to have, you know, as a secondary camera, because really you need the audio from your secondary camera sometimes to match up your footage with your primary camera. So we're going to, from this point forward, call this camera up here my A camera, and this GoPro my B camera. So generally what happens is, whether you are dual blogging with, you know, another biker and you're going to share footage, or you're using multiple cameras, you know, one facing you, maybe one facing your wheel, one facing from underneath the fender, something like that, and you want to be able to, in post, combine all this footage and utilize it in a manner where it just is seamless, you know, so you can cut back and forth and everything looks like it just belongs there. So that's my objective with adding this camera. Now, when the GoPro Session first came out, I wasn't really that impressed with it. Not to say that I'm overly impressed with it now, it's just, it's something that serves a purpose. When this camera first came out, it was $399, which is ridiculous for a camera with its feature set. So the GoPro Silver is also $399, which has a much better sensor, a better accessory set. And that's another thing that they did with this camera that I feel is kind of a letdown. When this camera originally launched, it came with a number of different mounts. One that everyone was excited about is this new ball joint mount, where you can rotate the camera and twist it and turn it without having to, you know, disconnect it from the mount and turn the camera around. Well, when they lowered the price, GoPro took all of those accessories away. So now if you want to purchase those accessories, they're about $19.99, let's say $20 each per item. So there's 3 other mounts similar to this one, or let's say 2 others other than the one that's on here. And there's another cage that holds the camera in place. Now these cameras are waterproof up to 15 feet, or some people say better than that. I'm going to be using it on a motorcycle, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it ever being underwater, unless I ride through a flood or something, which is not going to be a good day for me. But it's cool to say that you have this camera on your bike and you know that it's waterproof. You know, if you're out and you get caught in the rain, you don't have to panic, you know, and start ripping off your you know, trying to rip the camera off your bike before it gets ruined because of the weather. So that's always a good thing. Let's see, what else was there that was really important about this camera coming out? It does have Wi-Fi, so the advantage to having Wi-Fi is that you can control it through a smart app on either an Android or an iPhone. So it gives you the advantage of being able to, you know, set up other settings that you're not able to access on the camera by itself. And that's the thing that a lot of people are not aware of, the fact that these little small cameras, they don't have a monitor. The only monitor is the little small one that I showed you, which, you know, is a very difficult thing to read. I know now with the new software update, it does allow you to change some settings, but that to me is not significant enough. You know, when you're out in the field or out riding and you want to change from shooting video to time lapse or something like that, and you're having to, you know, rely on, you know, depending on the situation you're in, you know, this tiny little screen, to me that's just, you know, unacceptable. But for the form factor that it is, that's what you get. So the advantage of being able to use your smartphone app, or GoPro also has a watch controller, very similar to the one that I use for my Sony camera. The only thing that one does not allow you to do that, say, my Sony one does, is to see the video real time. So I'm kind of riding around the school that's not far from the house. Usually when I come through here a lot faster than I'm going right now, but since there are people here, and there's probably a good chance there's like a ISD cop around here somewhere, I don't want to go burning around these curves and oops, there he is, and then next thing you know I got a ticket. Yeah, it ain't gonna be that kind of busted video. But you know, like I said, you know, my main purpose for getting out tonight was to attempt to shoot this video again, test the footage to make sure that, you know, this is something that I want, you know, going forward. If not, I may replace it with another model. Now, some of the things that I have seen with this camera and a number of others is that the picture profile is somewhat flat. And I don't know if that's just something to do with GoPro. I don't know if that's something to do with just GoPro or just, you know, GoPro cameras in general. But I tested some of the footage earlier today, and I noticed that it was very simple to color grade, which means to basically edit your colors, your saturation, things like that. It wasn't very difficult at all. Now, GoPro as well as Sony provides you with a downloadable app, you know, for your PC or your Mac, that you can do basic editing, you know, cuts and color manipulations, you know, exposure, adding, you know, still images. Also, you are able to add music clips if you like. So it's not as an advanced app as, say, like Final Cut or Adobe Premiere or something like that. But, you know, for most people, it'll get the job done. You know, the most important thing, especially if you're blogging, you're just concerned with getting good viewable video that's not grainy, not over or underexposed, so that the viewer has a really good experience watching your video. I still honestly in my heart believe that audio is far more important than video, because I'll watch a video where the quality may not be that good, but if the audio is lacking, I'm out. you know, I won't even waste my time. And I noticed that a lot of YouTube videos, people, when they edit them, I guess you want to say they balance out the audio. And the problem with that is, if you're viewing it on a smartphone or some tablets, even some laptops, the audio isn't really that loud. So it makes sense to actually increase the volume on your audio in your output rendering and allow the end user to adjust the audio, instead of them having to, you know, maximize their audio output and then they're still not able to get, you know, a crisp, clear image of the audio. Anyway, guys, so like I said, I wanted to do this video just to get an idea what this is going to look like. I got out a little late, so I'm not getting the best light, but at the same time, I also didn't want to get out when it was felt like 110 degrees outside, you know, wearing gear and all that kind of stuff, because I'd have been sweating like crazy and all this stuff. But, you know, I'd honestly rather sweat and be safer than to wear no gear and jeopardize my life. Because trust me, plastic surgery is no fun. All right, guys, it's your boy Rome. You know, I'm out of here. This, you know, the end of this video, but, you know, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding this camera or the one that I'm using as my A camera. You know, I'd be more than happy to answer whatever questions I'm qualified to answer. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out. Subscribe and share my videos. Yay, yay!